welcome to the Weird World Podcast. My name is Carrie.
It is. My name's Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Hi.
Today we're going to do a super quick weird bit.
Super quick weird bit. Did you know that Joe Biden is dead?
I know what you're going to.
He, in fact, is a clone.
I have heard this, yes.
A very recent post making it out there in the social media world said, quote, "There is no hashtag Joe Biden executed in 2020. Hashtag Biden. Clones, doubles, and robotic engineered soulless, mindless entities are what you see. Hashtag Democrats don't know the difference," end quote. That is a lot to unpack, I think. Because one thing is, which is it? Is it a clone? Is it a mindless social entity? Is it a robot? Is it a double? Is it all of the above? I don't know.
Yeah.
But those goddamn Democrats, they don't know the difference. Republicans apparently do know the difference. I guess? Is that the implication?
Yeah, because they can tell.
But anyway, I didn't know this. Biden has been cloned. Biden's not real. Biden never was real. I think he died in 2020.
I want to know who executed him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who was the president in 2020?
Huh. Let's think. I think if you execute... Wait, that means that Trump must have had Biden executed in 2020 before Biden ever took office. Why would he then allow this fake Joe Biden
to win,
to take office if it happened, say, after the election before he left office?
I think the inference is Democrats did it because they couldn't trust the real Joe Biden because he was so impaired. I'm assuming
back in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That's fascinating. So anyway, this is true. I mean, obviously this is true.
Sure.
There's been some other things floating around, similar ilk, things like that. Biden things like there was an 8-hour Facebook video posted in 2021 that said, basically distilled, it said, quote, "Biden is a computer generated," unquote. I don't know what that means. I mean, it's a weird quote. It's in an article from Rolling Stone, but basically, that Biden, I guess, for 4 years was a computer-generated image.
Oh, sure.
Which is interesting because Donald Trump did indeed debate him live
in
2020 during the election.
Yeah.
And again in 2024, and Donald Trump didn't let it be known that he was a computer-generated. So what was Donald Trump just sort of shaking the air, shaking his hand and faking it, and they put a CGI Biden in there? Well, it doesn't say good things about your president. I am going to assume this poster. It's a big fan.
I mean, it's kind of silly because people saw Joe Biden. He went out and about in the world.
But there are people in the world who believe this right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Biden is a robot thing, that same poster, the person that I started the top of the show with, he has also presented conspiracy theories like, of course, the 2020 election was stolen. He called it as part of a, quote, military-grade coup. Military-grade coup or military coup? I don't know if you know the difference. I don't even know what those words mean. And that Trump has saved the world, quote, from the Satan-worshipping, deep-state, parentheses, DS, global elites, end quote. All of those words capitalized like it's a title somehow, except for from.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's a giveaway, a dead giveaway.
Yeah, you're not smart if you don't know how to capitalize things. And it's harder to capitalize when you're typing this. I'm assuming you're typing them on the phone, or I guess they could be typing them still. So other like MAGA folks out there who are promoting this conspiracy theory have showed like side-by-side photos of Biden, and they say that's evidence that he was replaced by a lookalike. One user put on some videos, side-by-side videos of Biden and I guess robot Joe Biden, and said, quote, "Joe Biden's eyes changed from blue to black," end quote. I don't think they changed to black. And as we know from Supernatural, does black eyes mean you're a clone or that you're a robot? No. What does black eyes mean? Demon. How has no one jumped on Joe Biden as a demon yet?
Yeah.
That's clearly that's strong evidence that Joe Biden is indeed a demon, not a robot or a soulless, mindless entity or something like that.
Because what, they couldn't find blue glass eyes when they were making that robot.
They're not good. They're not good. They're good enough to fool everybody except these handful of posters. I don't know how many people believe this, but they do make some pretty significant mistakes that in hindsight should have been dead giveaways to all of us, I think. But remember, Carrie, Democrats don't know the difference.
True. Yeah.
Here's the real weirdness about this story and the reason I wanted to bring it up. That, or what should be the incredibly, by far weirdest part of this story is that original quote, the whole Joe Biden is a soulless, mindless entity and a robot, was just on Saturday night, May 31st, 2025, promoted and shared by Donald J. Trump, the sitting president of the United States of America. An overtly, if you believe it, you're for sure mentally ill, no question whatsoever, or just an idiotic nonsense lie was shared and promoted by the sitting president of the United States. That is something that, again, I know we said this before, you can't understand if you're for younger folks out there, this is not normal.
Yeah.
This is not a normal country. This is not how functioning democracies with grown-ups in charge of the government and the economy, et cetera, should be behaving. Normal people don't do this. Smart people don't do this. People who care about the country don't do this. People who care about truth don't do this. People who are honest don't do this.
People who take their job seriously,
honestly,
don't do things like
seriously,
this.
If you're whatever, like the head of the company you work out posted stuff like this, you'd probably quit. You'd certainly get your resume spiffed up and get another job, because that's not in good hands.
Yeah,
that's what you do. It's crazy. I know we're trying not to be overly political on the show, but there's no defense for this. This is literally just either, again, honestly, literally insane behavior or incredibly deceitful and dishonest behavior, or both.
Yeah, and the thing is, this isn't partisan.
No, it shouldn't be anyway. I mean, the argument's partisan, the conspiracies are partisan, but we're saying it's not partisan.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden was tweeting crazy shit, I would say, Joe Biden, stop tweeting crazy shit, and I'd say Joe Biden needs to be removed from office.
Yes.
So here's a sample, by the way, of some headlines from some publications about this. NBC News: Trump shares unfounded conspiracy theory claiming Biden was executed in 2020. New York Times: Trump amplifies outlandish robot Biden conspiracy theory. Rolling Stone: Trump spreads bizarre conspiracy theory that Biden was executed. Daily Beast: Trump shares unhinged conspiracy theory that Biden is a robot clone. New York Post: a very conservative Murdoch-owned newspaper said Trump shares wild conspiracy theory that Joe Biden is replaced by soulless, So, still use the word wild, not unhinged, not insane, not crazy, as they should. My favorite, though, of course, comes from, who else? Fox News.
Yeah.
Trump shares post saying Biden was executed, replaced by by clones. That's it.
Yeah.
Pretty damn neutral, Fox News. This is not something, this is another thing we've talked about or mentioned to or alluded to, is that the media has done a dreadful job, at least until very recently, of really putting into context how insane, how out of the norm, how out of the ordinary, how terrifying it should be for a sitting president to say these things and do these things and promote these things. And this is indeed, this is for sure unhinged. This is beyond wild. And it's certainly not just shares post.
Yeah.
The media does not do a good job of conveying the true level of depravity that comes from the White House on a literally daily basis, far worse than it did in the first time around. So, and of course, Trump, he's shared, dozens at least of ludicrous conspiracy theories, of course, including ones that are just core to his central being, like the election was rigged, which is incredibly preposterous and nonsensical, and literally proven it to amount to be true. That, remember, he was a birther. Barack Obama was not born in the country. For sure not true. Things like, remember Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband?
Yes.
He spread the conspiracy theory that was faked somehow. That, of course, who can forget Haitians eating cats? During the campaign, which as soon as the election was over, no one gave a fuck about the Haitians eating cats anymore. It was gone. Of course, Robert Kennedy, and then he's littered his cabinet and the people close to him with people who do the same thing. Robert Kennedy and autism and things like that. Chemtrails. I think it was Kash Patel. I think it's Kash Patel. He's a big fan of chemtrails, and he's also
be surprised.
been a fan of some conspiracy theories. I think Robert Kennedy shares that thing too. And of course, all the QAnon and nonsense like that, and the Pizzagate and stuff like that. He's promoted all the. I mean, again, these aren't just like, Kennedy might have been killed by the mob or something like that.
Yeah,
these are crazy, insane, mentally unbalanced level conspiracy theories, and it's the sitting president of the United States. These are 25th Amendment level conspiracy theories if he truly does believe them.
I mean, I would love to think that he doesn't believe them, that he's just a rabble rouser.
Well, that's putting it
I don't know
nice.
if that's true or not.
It's not a rabble rouser. He's
it's still highly
much worse than that.
Offensive and inappropriate, and makes him.
But there's a strategy to it,
but,
and it's to try to just literally promote anything else out there that makes him look better and his opponents look worse, knowing he probably does know it's complete bullshit. He doesn't really believe Joe Biden was, I doubt he even believes that Haitians eat cats. Actually, he may. He's super racist.
Yeah.
But I think he probably knows that most of these things are lies, and he's completely okay with spreading them, no matter how ludicrous they are. They should be embarrassing to be associated with. We've lost shame and lost embarrassment at being associated with utterly nonsensical things that if you really do believe that, there's something wrong. You're diminished. You don't think well. You don't have critical thinking skills, or you are a little bit,
And I think a fair amount of these stupid things he does believe.
I think he does.
Because we've known people like that. And
like
usually
the
they're
election,
older. It's like, oh my God, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
and
sure.
it's just ridiculous. But
he is the crazy old uncle at the Thanksgiving. I'm sure he does. The things that are plausible is way too strong a word. But the things that aren't overtly a priori nonsensical, like Joe Biden is a clown, I think he does believe a lot.
I think he probably does too.
And again, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's one thing if it's the harmless uncle at the Thanksgiving. It's very dangerous if you put that man with his finger on the button.
Yeah.
He has the nuclear codes.
And I think he's sharing things like this thing that he knows is wildly untrue just to create chaos. And because he knows that's going to be a big story, and maybe something else somebody in his administration or he has done that is terrible won't.
Which is also
be the biggest headline of the day.
Yeah, that's true. But that's a terrible sign. That's not a kind of
person.
You don't want to be friends with that guy. I've known people like that, like sort of contrarians, they'll call themselves, something like that. No, you're just an asshole. And you throw things out there just to, rile people up. That's not fun. That's not smart. That's not intelligent. It's not difficult to do. You just have to be willing to be an asshole. That's not the people you want to be friends with, let alone, again, want to be like your boss or something like that. You try to stay away from people like that. You certainly don't put people like that into positions of power. You don't give them any kind of power. You don't help them or bet them in any way, shape, or form. And that's the kind of person it is. Well, anyway, just to underline what we presented here, Joe Biden has been dead. He was executed. He is a clone or a soulless entity of some sort, possibly also doubles. His eyes are black, so he might also be a demon.
And because we are not spreading disinformation, all that is untrue.
Well, we'll see. Jury's out. That's all I'm saying.
I had to put that disclaimer in there.
Oh, well. Okay, well, thank you. That's a little weird bit we did there. Wanted to share that with you in case you hasn't seen it on the social medias. But it's out there, and thank God we have a president with the courage to put it out there and make sure more people learn about this truth that we as a nation need to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Public service announcement.
Yes, that's what it was. This whole thing has been a public service announcement.
Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye.